What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the No Mods Podcast coming at you every Monday. Yes, I am recording this on Monday. Why am I doing this voice? Because I find it kind of funny and I'm feeling the energy. Let's start off. My bad. I'm your host, Jorge Flores. You can reach out to the podcast on Twitter at no_mods009. You can reach out to me on Instagram at adept_apron, where I tend to post food that I make pretty frequently. I don't know why I said it like that. A few recipes, and I usually just post stories because my way of cooking, mostly at home, or I try to my food when I express myself through food, I tend to just do it on the spot. There's really no there's a small base to it, but I tend to do a little bit of and then and like and then a little bit from behind the back. You know what I'm saying? um, but yeah, So like I said, I'm recording this on Monday. It's been a rough week, kind of sporadic. Been staying busy. I'm not sure if it was post Easter Sunday laziness or what it was, but I've been trying my best to enjoy the sun. But not gonna lie, I've just been mostly bonding with the dogs. So not gonna lie, this episode might be just me letting off some steam, just cause I started thinking about like why did I actually start making this podcast? Like, I'm surprised I'm pretty sure this is episode 25. Audio wise. Video wise, I'll probably still go for another 100, which is only 20 episode different. But I'm just talking to myself. But, like, straight up, I started thinking about that. I think that made me more, like, pensive than I wanted to. Because at the same time, I did stop working out for a minute. So I think just not having an outlet for my energy kind of affected me mentally, which kind of goes hand in hand with what I've been talking about over the past few episodes, which is kind of like trying to keep yourself busy and active and proactive. And but I'm feeling like myself again, which is funny because it's cloudy as fuck. So I'm wondering if everybody in the neighborhood just got used to the rainy weather. I mean, it happens. And yes, I can tell my head, part of my head being cut off. I've been trying to like play with the setup a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be entertaining you guys, not fucking just rambling off, right? Um, but I don't know. Which, like I said, expressing myself food wise, I've been making better food. Not gonna lie. Like I'm pretty sure, for a while I had lost my ability to season correctly, but now I got it back. And you're gonna wonder like, wait, but you're a chef, how the fuck? It happens. The salt at work is usually kosher salt, which is a pretty like mellow saltiness would be the best way to say it. Like you can like hit a handful on like a half-inch steak, pound it with salt, and you'll be fine. But I've been using sea salt, so I've been like slowly adjusting to from like just a handful to like maybe like a three-finger pinch is all you need. Because I've realized sea salt penetrates pretty hard into the protein, which I've never seen before, but it makes sense. Um, which I mean, I how's it? Because the line of thinking all the past week was literally like, um, am I actually scared of something? Which is pretty off frequent, and I think it's a question we all have. Because the other question is like, what what am I doing out of my day that's not making me feel complete, right? And it could be that you're just not you're ignoring certain aspects around you, or it could be like in a way, how do you say it? Like you're not pushing yourself, right? Because funny enough, I've started working out again. Like, well, I did a workout before this, so I think that's why I'm feeling a little more, a little more energetic. But straight up, and I will say probably most of these podcasts will probably turn like into a fucking rant or a diary, just cause, fuck it. At this point, it's no mods, right? Like I shouldn't be giving a fuck about what people have to say. Like I'm giving you a podcast. It's up to you if you want to enjoy it or not. And I really hope you do. Or and if you don't, like just give me some feedback. Like that's usually how this shit works. If you don't like something, you usually speak up about it. What's the saying in Spanish? Una boca cerrada no come, which translate, um, a, a shut mouth won't eat or won't feed itself, kind of. You more or less get the context, right? Like, if you're gonna be quiet with closed lips, then like nothing's gonna be able to like go in it. And I'm not trying to make a pun. That's just literally how it translates. Um, but see, I mean, and then what got me thinking again? What I'm starting to watch calories. Just um, because funny enough, like I do get on TikTok those random like like gym motivation things. Because I've been trying to look up TikToks that help me on form. And there was one dude. I do like their inspirational speeches, but I take it with a grain of salt. Pun intended on that one. Um, um, what was he say? Where he was talking about failure, like you can't say you've done something unless you failed at it, and I would say that's pretty fucking true. And so it got me thinking, like, oh, like yes, we all have our own way of trying, but I think it's failure also coincides with that mentality of like you got to get up and try again. Like you can't just say you did it once and failed at it, right? Like you got to like get up, use what you learned through that first failure and try again. Cuz if you start seeing on round 2 that things are doing way better, like you can see progress and you still fail, then just don't let it hurt your pride or your confidence a little too much. And I think that might be the moral of the story behind that, because I, I don't know, like I'm not trying to say, well, how do I say it? Because I get the whole gym mentality, and I think I mentioned it, like the gym mentality and the kitchen mentality are pretty similar, because it's literally like a lot of people yelling at you saying like, let's get this shit done, like let's go, we got 5 tickets coming in, let's go, let's get 5 chickens going, let's start getting the appetizers ready. Hey, why isn't the server giving the drinks yet? What the fuck? And like, it's like it wasn't like that, but it was very much like um, waiting on the table service to be done in order for us to fire the food. Because sometimes the servers would take multiple orders, fire them all at once, and then they would try to stagger the food as it went out. But meanwhile, the cooks are trying to keep up with the pace and trying to make sure the food's hot. So, like, and then at that point, as a chef, you need to tell people, I can't serve that because it's cold, or I can't serve that because it's old. It's already been 15 minutes, da da da. The food's been sitting out, da da da. And it's also goes hand in hand with you can't just be an asshole about it. Like, if in that 15-minute, I can be an asshole within that 15-minute window for that piece of food, or that the entree, but then you can't, once it passes, like you need to like either A, hold on to it, or make a call, which preferably don't make a call. And a call can be like, oh, reheat this real quick, or etc. etc. You know, like I'm not gonna get too far behind the scenes on that one, but like the chef has a responsibility about when the food goes out as much as, or everybody has an equal amount of responsibility, which is why I think there's a bit of miscommunication between front of the house and back of the house, because the back of the house has the ability to just crank out food, right? But meanwhile, the front of the house needs to take the I'm gonna call it a cadence of, we gotta give them a little bit of time before we do this. All right, they just got their drinks. I just can't give them their food. Gotta give them a few minutes, and then I can give them their food. And I'm like, okay, no, and it makes perfect sense because that's called service, right? Because then you're on a drop of a beat if everything's like lined up perfectly. And I hope you can't hear the dogs right now because I'm trying to talk over them, but they're still barking. I don't know what the fuck they're barking about. And I think there's probably a dog walking by, and maybe it's an ambulance. Hold on. They're still going. They're still barking. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna laugh if you guys can't hear the dogs barking, and it's just me gonna be in an insane ramble right now. But that's pretty funny. Oh my god, they're still going. I'm trying to talk over them. Pero no mames, güey. Es que en la pinche cocina así es igual. Like you got 5 tickets going at the same time, and then you got the kitchen yelling, "What the fuck? Why isn't the first one ready? Just finish plating the first dish, bro. Like we need to get this shit out, dude. Everything's already up. Everything's getting cold." And you're like, "What the fuck?" And Woo. I think I'm gonna start doing that every time the dogs start barking, which I hope it doesn't happen again because that was pretty hard. Like I, I I think innately everybody has ability to think on their feet, but I think having to do it rapid fire is very different. Cause I do entertain myself with freestyle rap, but even then they have a cadence. But then it trips me out when they're able to change their beat. Like it goes as instead of like to the all right. And for the audio podcast, I don't know how to explain that. Um, oh my god, that didn't gas me out. All right. Oh, and then no, that's just a note to myself. Um, Note to self: keep window open for cold air. And then okay. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna take a note on the cold air thing. That um, there's a theory behind it that being in a cold environment makes you think slightly better than in a warmer environment. Because in a warmer environment, you are relaxed, like your muscles aren't tense, and your blood's kind of like. But then when it's cold, you're kind of like tightening up, you're flexing. Or what I heard in the podcast is that if you're in a cold environment and you're shivering, you technically are burning calories, so your body is at work. But I mean, it's not like a significant amount of calories, but like that's it. That's why a lot of people do cold therapy or the what's that thing? The cryovac. You're not getting vacuum sealed. The cryo chamber thing or the ice baths. Like, that's literally what they're for. And I'm not gonna lie, after before, if I know a day's gonna be stressful, a nice cold shower hits the spot. Or at least, if you want to be human, um, hop into the shower before the water warms up. But make sure like the water hits the back of your head, because then you feel it down your spine, and like somehow like your body gets used to it way sooner. Es más o menos una idea, ¿verdad? Um, but yeah, damn. I literally lost my train of thought after hearing the dogs bark. But I still got some time to kill, so I'm gonna spend it with you guys. How's your day? Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, that's pretty cool. I mean, we also got to take in fact that it is Taco Tuesday today. So if you're not getting tacos, then what the fuck are you doing with your life? You know? Hey, well, don't get mad at me, dude. Dude, tomorrow's Wednesday. We can go do something, okay? Okay, chill. um, for the audio podcast, I just did a hard wink. So, oh, I need to figure out how to do audible expressions, huh? What the fuck, dude? All right. This can't be just 5 minutes of me laughing at myself. Um, let's talk about what the fuck I've made over the past week. Um, like I said, random food, random expression, right? I decided to cook, or my mom someone gave her a fucking like a whole roll of salami. Now trying to figure out how to do it, and I kind of just did like I got the salami crispy. Then I threw in potatoes, so it would like soak in like some of the juice, and then some peppers, tomatoes, water, a little bit of beef broth, and then I covered it, and it was pretty much like a braise at that point, or quote unquote braise. I'm calling it a braise because there is that it's not shoyu braised potatoes, but something along those lines, where it's pretty much just like onions and potatoes, and then soy sauce, and I forget what else, and you kind of just let it seal, and like it caramelizes, it glazes, it's fucking delicious. So I was kind of like in that line, um, and chab, bro. I was like looking for the kind. Um, okay, this can't. Okay, and then today I forgot to pull out chicken yesterday, so I pulled out chicken right now. Oh no, I decided to switch it to ground turkey because I'm gonna try to do like what do we call it? Not like a shawarma wrap, but like I'm gonna try to mimic the seasoning with the ground turkey. And I did make quinoa already. And I'm gonna dice up a cucumber, tomatoes. I think I saw some mint and parsley, and make a. I think it's called a tabbouleh, right? I'm just not gonna add olives. I'm not that big a fan of olives, and everyone can. Well, see, this is the funny part about olives. Canned olives are ass, bro. They're fucking shit. But if you got like Kalamata olives that have like a little bit more flavor, they're like a little bit more briny, instead of tasting like fucking like a metal can, those are clutch. Those are clutch. Like, those are clutch. Or I'm wondering if you can make a tapenade out of the canned olives, but I don't think you can because that flavor is pretty dominant. But I mean, I'll figure it out. I'll get back to you guys on that one. And if you don't know what tapenade is, it's usually like an olive spread. But if you're not a fan of like oily foods, then you won't like it. I mean, it's not exactly oily, but it's got a decent amount of oil in it, and but it's pretty good. Not gonna lie, or at least the version that I know, because I don't think I've had an authentic tapenade, so which is debatable. No, it living in the States, right? It makes me question a lot of foods' authenticity due to the simple fact that a lot of foods had to adjust due to what's around them, right? Like, if you wanted to make good Indian food, sourcing the spices can be kind of tricky because there's not that many Indian stores that stock, or there's not that many Indian stores, and there's not that many stores that stock those ingredients. And on top of that, if you're worried about quality, or if you're just looking at the simple ingredients on the back of the packet, you'll see that it's not entirely what it's advertised as, I guess, selling as, right? So, and then, so it does make you question like how true to the recipe is this, and because at the same time, I feel, or from my perspective, Korean food is probably the most on point for a reason, and I won't get too much into it because it's not. Um, I haven't done enough research to like say something like firm about it, but I will say it's the easiest to recreate because it's a lot of ingredients you can find in the States. The difference would be finding someone that actually knows how to make it correctly. And I hope a lot of people learn to cook it correctly before the white people start taking it and renaming it as some random ass shit, and then people getting like, what the fuck, you guys can't just do that for reasons. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'll accept that too. And I gave Indian, but like Italian food, I have a hard time knowing if it's real or not, just because there's a lot of. I feel like it's like 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 real Italian food. From what I've had, it's fucking delicious. But when you come here and try like American Italian, it's kind of like Italian food is like city food, and then you come out here and it's very much like some redneck shit. Like, I made some pasta. But I will say, like, and then I'm not knocking that either food is bad. I'm just saying, like, there's a distinct difference. You shouldn't be comparing the two. Like, okay. It says I shouldn't compare the food. Um, um, like, what was I on about? I don't know. I fucking lost it. But I've noticed in the States it's more about wine and grilling food than a lot of most foods, which is probably why. No, now I'm just getting into random ass shit. Now I'm like, now I'm like, I'm just taking off. And if you don't know what I just did for the audio podcast, I just did the archer pose. And if you don't know what that is, then I probably don't know the name, but it's the thing they do in soccer. Dude, I I'm not even trying to fuck with you guys. I'm literally just spitting. Man, dude. And then, cause I listen to a lot of comedy podcasts, like specifically like Bad Friends, where I can tell like you can't tell when they're like just going off on a bit. Like it trips me out that people can just like switch like that dynamically and still maintain a straight face and then go back to the normal conversation. I'm like, how do you do that? Like, and I'm not saying I'm trying to make this as a stand up thing, but like, I understand my whole bit is that like the fucking like whatever. How do you say it? Oh, the food is coming out with no mods, right? Like just as is coming out. However the cook or chef wants it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just coming at you. Like, and you better fucking eat it, or else they're gonna be looking at you through the kitchen like, "Te voy a chingar la pinche madre, güey. I saw what car you came in, motherfucker. I know where you live. I got the plates 6SLQWZ. Alright, bitch. I got you. Estoy mirando, cabrón. Oh, man. Dude. Okay, now I'm just laughing at my own jokes. My bad. It's funny that I started off very serious. Or, I think I needed to let off some steam. Not gonna lie. And thank you guys for being around. It kind of helps me a lot. Not gonna lie. Because I think we all need a form of expression. And to going back to like why I started the podcast was I did want to become a better entertainer or storyteller, like a conversationalist, right? Like, because I know that when I'm kind of like I'm literally like the cars that you like crank back to wind up, then you let them go, and because as soon as I start talking, I just start taking off, like I'm not attentive. But then there's moments where I'm like I'm super like cooperative, not the word, but like I'm clearly listening. I'm responding to what you're saying. I'm not giving you more information than what you're looking for, and I'm trying to recognize when you want to be listened to. Like, and I think those are all aspects of a strong leader, and I completely recognize that. And so and I don't know. I'm honestly being as you can tell, a guinea pig with myself, and I really don't mind that because I think we should all be putting what we think or say into our actions. And if you got a big bravado and that's what you want to pursue, then like by all means, like most people succeed through that. But you also got to understand there's some fallbacks to it. But risk and reward, it's literally the moral of the story. Um, which I guess saying that kind of made me understand why like I listened to the podcast Tiger Belly, and Bobby Lee's often like it's very hard to be vulnerable to people, but like, and it's true because you're like vulnerability is kind of like it's not frowned upon, but it's more like you don't see it as much like it, and it's very hard to bring up with even your friends or family, and sometimes it is nice to like have an audience or even like a stranger like just like vibe with you because it literally opens you up. It lets you take off some weight that you've been carrying, and I think there's an importance to that. And to bring it full circle, I think that's why a kitchen's a good place. If you moved out of your house and you're living on your own, you just go work in a kitchen. Like, and if it's a good kitchen, they'll take care of you, and and I hope you recognize that they're taking care of you. Because once they recognize that you're not putting up your side of you're not putting in work, they'll kind of like push you out. Like they won't want you around. So like if you give off respect, you'll get respect back genuinely. And it's not like a tit for tat thing, but just like it's a normal human thing to like just respect your surroundings and be like respect your word and respect other people's words, and it's kind of the moral of the story. um but I was gonna try to make another point about that, but and I guess the respect thing also goes with like the high risk high reward. Like as it like even if you went up to a random stranger, like you never know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like they might just knock you the fuck out because they don't want to listen to you, or they just might say like fuck off, or they speak to you in a different language. Like it generally varies. And I'm kind of saying this more as of like a concern that I've had for a while, or not a concern, but like a thought that I've been entertaining, because I vocally have been a lot more expressive. I have been trying to like engage with people more, but like it's tricky, dude. Like I wouldn't say I have a social battery. I'm just like today I kind of just want to think in my head, and it's not like I'm mad or anything. It's just I don't know. Everybody decompresses differently. We all take our time. We all have different methods. Not everything's gonna work the same for us, and I think that's genuinely notes we need to take for ourselves and share with other people, even if some people don't deserve it. But then at that point, just make the call. Like if you realize they're not like giving back what you're giving, then like, or not even they're not reciprocating your actions in any way, then like obviously you can just cut them out, like, or just push them away slowly if you don't want to just cut it off like immediately, you know? Because I also understand that the people around you have different values. Like you might not want them to like completely engage with you, but you kind of just need them around for company. Like I understand that as well. Um, Damn, dude, I got this one got pretty deep all of a sudden. But I mean, but I don't know, which is funny because my new fucking mentality has been like, stop being nice to people, start being mean, and mean is being nice, and so on and so forth. And you might be wondering why the fuck, how is being mean nice? Well, it's not. Well, some people kind of like need to be told like, yeah, you shouldn't be fucking doing that, or like you can be on someone's side while like disagreeing with their thoughts, right? If you can tell they're indecisive, then like just call it. Like you can call them out. Like I feel like that's what makes a good friend. Like that great creates a good company, you know? Like people like willing to and know how to tell you something is wrong or out of place or you're out of touch, which could be another one. Um but yeah, like yeah. Yeah. I don't know what else to add to that one, but I don't know. But that sounded fucking terrible. I hope you guys didn't hear that. But I think the season's changed and I got my allergies are fucking up there, and I've been doing like yard work every other fucking day because the grass keeps growing back like pretty quickly. So I'm starting to think it's not grass anymore. It's probably mutated. um, but yeah, and speaking of change of season, I hope you guys have started a garden. I guess I can post my garden on the Instagram. I just haven't taken the time to like really look at it, and nothing's really grown. But I've been growing up. I'm pretty sure it's still a peach tree. If not, it's gonna be a plum. It's stone fruit regardless, and it's what you call it. It's been growing for 3 years and it's pretty it, solid 2 feet. It's solid 2 feet and it's growing wide now. I'm very proud of it. The diameter of the trunk is about a quarter, so as you can tell, I'm very proud of the tree because I didn't think it'd grow. Um, and then I just fertilized it. I'm planting my herbs again because I let them die because I changed the planter, um, and I got some momentum going. So I think I saw some cilantro sprouting already, and then the dahlias are starting to finally sprout after like a month or two. So I'm happy about that too. I'm excited for those. Um, then I put watermelon seeds and cucumber seeds, which those haven't sprouted. But I think most of the stuff that I planted said 40 days, so it's probably gonna be hopefully towards the end of the month I start seeing some progress. Um, and I'm really excited about those. I think also, oh no, I need to plant basil, but and you and yes, it is nicer to like just have a starter plant, but like I feel like when there's seeds, you can kind of just like blow them off a little bit. Like you can kind of like water them every other day because you also don't want to drown the seed, and you can't fertilize it yet. So I don't know. Plus, I think when you start with the seed and you don't have like and everything, I need to go buy garden soil. You can just start with whatever dirt you can find, and if you start with the seed, like the seed will grow, will be used to that like surrounding, so or environment. I mean, but yeah. And on that note, I think I'll cut it off. Well, I did hit my marker, so I'm contemplating on trying to do a longer podcast, but I don't know. It gets tricky when you got like other things going on and you want to get fired up and like show good energy and a smile. And but yeah. And on that note, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the No Mods Podcast. I'm your host, Jorge Flores. You can reach out to me on Instagram at adept_apron, or you can reach out to the podcast on no_mods009. And I hope to catch you guys next Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. You can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcast or Spotify, and you can also watch a video podcast on YouTube if you'd like so. So follow the podcast, subscribe, give me some feedback. Let's share some recipes. I want to try new foods. So if you got anything new to show me, I'd fucking love it. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Oh shit, the wrong button.